It does not need to be a Louis Vuitton one. It just doesn't. For me, it would be an absolute waste of money. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am back with a video brought to you by my good friend Connor from The Closet here on YouTube. He has started his first ever tag and I personally think it's an absolutely fantastic tag. I recently filmed an update to a video I had already filmed on the 10 luxury items that I will no longer buy. I had filmed that about 6 or 7 months ago. I've updated it recently and I think those sorts of videos are so helpful for people looking at certain luxury things or wondering what to buy and what not to buy. I personally love watching them. Connor's tag is a take on that type of video, only he has done the 5 luxury items that I will never buy. Now, I know that some people have done this tag and I will link Connor's video down below in the description box. Please do check it out. Check out his channel. He's absolutely fab. Has a really, really good knowledge base for Hermes if anybody's interested in that. So I'll link that in the description box. But I think a lot of people are doing this tag on the basis of 5 things that either you've bought before and you wouldn't buy again, or 5 items that you would never buy. Because I have done those 2 previous videos, and I will link them up above or in the description box, which are the 10 luxury items that I will not buy again, my take on Connor's tag today is the 5 luxury categories of items that I will never buy. Never buy. Nope. Never say never, but no, never buy. And these are 5 categories of items that I have never bought, so I don't have these in my collection. I've never spent money on these, and they're 5 categories that I do not foresee myself ever buying or spending the money on for one reason or another, and we'll go through those now. And the first, and this is one that I have seen in Connor's video, and I think this was in Tanya's video as well from Bits and Bags, and that is either luxury tech or luxury tech accessories. For me, this covers both categories. So I know that some brands like Louis Vuitton bring out their own ear pods and they have nice I know, even from the look of my face, but they have nice little, dangly bits and they do look very attractive. And if you're maybe at a very high level in luxury or in finances, maybe, but they're just not for me. They are like, I still, if you've watched some of my videos, I still use the plug-in earphones that you get free with your iPhone. Like, that's still what I use, and they're wrapped up in my bag, so I don't even have AirPods. But the Louis Vuitton ones or the designer ones that they sit in your ear are just not for me. Too expensive. If I was going to buy any, I would probably buy the AirPods, the traditional ones. So that is definitely something that I'm not going to be spending my money on. And it's one, because of the price point. 2, I'm not a very technical, gadgety, keep up with gadgets type person. And 3, I suppose if I was going to spend the money on high level tech or earbuds, or I don't even really know properly what they're called, but I would buy probably like an Apple version or the versions where the companies that specifically make them, and I wouldn't be buying, say, for example, Louis Vuitton. The second part of that is that I also won't buy luxury tech accessories. So I know a lot of the brands have brought out the little AirPod case, and don't get me wrong, it's really, really cute. I love small things. They have them in some lovely colours. They have them in the Louis Vuitton monogram, and they are really, really cute, but I won't be buying those. Even if I did get AirPods, I would either keep them in the little plastic case that I think that comes with them, or they would go into, say, my key clay or my round key pouch or something, rather than buying a specific SLG effectively just for the earbuds. Another part of that category that I won't buy is I won't buy designer phone cases, and I know a few people have said this, and that is because my phone gets upgraded every, maybe, is it 18 months or around about that time, and you would need another phone case every time your phone is upgraded. So I'm not going to spend the money on, say, the Louis Vuitton one, and they do look fab, the one with the ring on the back and the trunk and everything, they do look fab, but it's just not somewhere that I'm going to put my money. Plus, because I use a lot of mini bags, and I love mini bags, looking behind me, I think the phone case, the clunky phone case, and I know Jerusha has one and she has said this in some of her videos, would just take up too much space in the mini bag, so that rules that category out for me. 2 that I would not buy is maybe slightly more controversial, and I have never bought this, will never buy this, and it is luxury hair accessories. I know I can hear people not happy with me, but to be completely frank with you, I am absolutely useless at hair. I actually had a company reach out with me to do a sponsorship for a hair styling tool, and I laughed out loud. I am so useless at hair. It would be ridiculous for me to come on here and try and say to you, sponsored by this company and look what I've done with my hair. It just would not work. It would be ridiculous. So I will not buy luxury hair accessories because I am useless at hair. And I will try and insert photographs through this so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. But there was the Chanel script hair slide that I think would sit, you know, maybe like that, or like that maybe. And it was lovely. It was beautiful. It was in the Diamante and the Chanel script writing, and there was a brooch as well, and it was very popular. But I wouldn't know what to do with it. I would put it in and it would not look like in my mind how I would envisage it should look. It would look like, it would just not look good. It would probably be falling out. I wouldn't be able to secure it properly. There's also the designer scrunchies. I know Dale recently bought a Prada one, and I won't buy those either. And I won't buy them because, again, I am useless at hair, and I would look like, oh, if I tried to do a ponytail with that and my thin hair, and it just would not be a good look. So my money will definitely not be going on luxury hair accessories. And in that, I'm also going to add in, which again I think look fab, but wouldn't work for me, and it's the luxury visors. So, you know, like that goes around your head and it has the visor. And I think Dior do them, and probably some of the other companies, and they look fab. But if you watched my 10 luxury items I won't buy again, and I talked about not buying for my fantasy life, yeah, that would be buying for me, imagining that I am still carefree and child-free and traipsing around the world whenever I want to, and thinking that I'm going to be on, you know, on the pool or on the beach with my visor looking fab. And don't get me wrong, the girls I've seen doing that look absolutely fabulous. But with my lifestyle, with 2 young boys coming on most of our holidays, we don't get that many holidays without children, it just would be a waste. It would be an absolute waste. And we don't get the weather here in Ireland to justify it for an everyday type wearing purchase, because it just doesn't be that sunny that often. Number 3, and sticking on that type of vibe, is I also will not buy designer swimwear or designer underwear. And again, designer swimwear, the girls on Instagram and people that I've seen wearing them look absolutely fabulous. There's the black and white Chanel swimsuit comes to mind with the CC in the middle of it. Oh my goodness. I think, was it Rimba on Instagram had that on quite recently, and she looked absolutely amazing. Stunning. Model type amazing. I don't look like that. I wish I looked like that, but I don't look like that. And I know I am losing weight, but I'm definitely not at that stage. And I do not feel comfortable enough in a swimsuit or a bikini, or, to be quite honest, look good enough or comfortable enough in a swimsuit or a bikini to justify spending the price of designer ones. And again, I've seen some of there's the Louis Vuitton bikinis, there's the Fendi one with the beautiful monogram on the strap here, and it looks fab, but I just know that for me, it would be a waste of money. I wouldn't get the use out of it. I don't have enough of that type of holiday to justify it, and I just wouldn't feel good enough in it. I know I wouldn't, because of what it is, to justify that price. And that's the same with underwear. Now, underwear, I suppose, again, I am thinking in my mind about the Dior bralette, which has the Dior on the straps here, and it looks fab, and the people I've seen wearing it look absolutely fab. But that would be another thing, buying for my fantasy life. Where am I going to wear that? And to the school run. And I wouldn't be wearing enough often things that don't show my shoulders to allow it to show it off. And it just would be a waste. And that is in category 3 of designer items that I will not buy. Category 4, and before I say this, I love Cassie Thorpe, but I won't buy designer water bottles. I just will not buy designer water bottles. Don't get me wrong, I am all for reusable water bottles, but I have one from Amazon that I think was about £6 or £7, and that does me. I also have a free one that my friend got from work. I'm sure there's others floating about the house. I do not need a designer water bottle. My work life as well would be on the conservative side. It would not be people flexing with their designer items. No. In fact, that would be probably frowned upon and would probably be taken the opposite way than what a flex should be taken. So a designer water bottle, no, not for me. For me, too much money, not good value for money, and I'll just keep using my reusable one from Amazon. And if I remember, I will link the one that I use because it holds loads and it's great and it's so cheap. Number 5, the last category of designer items that I will never buy. I have 2 children, if you've watched this before you'll know, and I also have 2 dogs, and my 2 dogs are very much 2 fur babies and they're very much part of the family. So I'm going to lump these 2 together, and I will not buy designer children's clothing or designer pet accessories. I just won't. And I'm lumping them together because my pets might as well be children in this house. So don't get me wrong, the designer Dior children's clothing, the little pumps and the shoes, the dresses for the girls, the t-shirts, the short, they are fab looking. And if it is comfortably within your price range and your finances to buy that for your children, absolutely. If I had enough surplus money, it would probably be a different consideration. But for my children who grow really, really quickly, and I have 2 boys, nothing is ever clean. Nothing is ever, obviously I wash it, but you send them out clean. It doesn't stay clean very long. They are climbing up climbing frames. There's holes in knees of things. There's scuffs at the front of shoes. There's spaghetti all over t-shirts. There's lasagna everywhere. I just am not going to buy Dior or designer clothing for my children because I know it would be an absolute waste. And before anybody says it, that is not because I'm saying, oh, I will buy myself designer items and won't buy it for my children. I will very much invest in my children and buy what they need and give them the best of the best, but they don't need designer clothing. They just don't. It would be absolutely ruined and an absolute waste of money. Just not needed. If you knew my 2 boys, not needed. On that I'm sticking with my other children, the furry children, are designer pet accessories. And I adore my dogs with, oh my goodness, I adore them with all my heart. They are my family. But they don't need a Louis Vuitton dog collar or a Louis Vuitton dog lead or a Louis Vuitton dog carrier. They just don't. Where I live is not an overly designer type place. It's just not needed. It's too much money. Their leads get thrown. They have their own cupboard with all the dog stuff in it. The leads get thrown in. The leads are in and out so often. They're traipsing. We live in the country. They're traipsing around country. They are in the bushes, in the hedges, running in the fields. It does not need to be a Louis Vuitton one. It just doesn't. For me, it would be an absolute waste of money. So those are, and I hope I haven't offended anybody, if you have these within your means and it is not like something that could be saved or something else that you could buy and you have that availability to be able to buy these, absolutely you do you. For me, in my finances, these are just things that are not worth me putting the money on and just too expensive or not practical for my lifestyle. Those are my 5 categories of luxury items that I will never buy, that I don't buy, that I have never bought, great grammar, have never bought. So the previous video was 10 items that I have bought and won't buy again. This is 5 items that I just won't go there. I hope this has been interesting. I hope it's been entertaining. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Please take care and I will see you again in the next one.